Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. It is a time that I have to admit I am quite excited for because I have here in my hands one of the new Steamforged Games Battlegroup sets for War Machine. So obviously this is the first faction that Steamforged has put out themselves. I am quite curious to see it. I always liked Cryx back in the day, and this is one of these smaller sets. So we have like the larger sets that have a bunch of extra guys, but this is like basically what you want if you're going to start the game. And nice and handy, we've got QR codes all over the box. I don't know who is in here. It does not give me that information on the box, but I think this is more like a general box where they are using like the card here in the front as a kind of tag to see who it is, and then they can just, you know, use the same generic packaging for everybody, which is actually kind of smart. It makes it more universal. It does not include these things, but obviously I think most tabletop players are going to have all those anyway, so it's not really going to matter. Oh, is there tape on there? There's not for once. Hooray. Because it came directly from them, I don't need to worry about anti-theft devices or whatever. So I kind of still wish that we had the names of everybody, but it looks like we've got, oh, what was that one? I can't think of his name. I've got him still. I don't have a lot of my Cryx stuff anymore. It's been a few years, but there was one specific warcaster I always liked that was like the big machine dude. I'm like, that's really specific when it comes to Cryx, isn't it? I was never a fan of the Cryx pirate theme. Now, the undead mechanical monstrosities, absolutely sign me up. Okay, we have 3 figures to the set. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but do not fret. It's pretty typical. And obviously, it's more along the lines of trying to get you guys into the game. You don't need to have a giant, you know, army to start things off with. Alright. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what's expected. Okay, so maybe I got myself more than I bargained for with all this stuff. We have 2 bases here, so I'm assuming that is going to be our new school chicken walkers. Now, these are the 3D printed ones. But you'll see, I feel like the overall quality is where it should be. Yeah, you're going to have to remove some supports here and there. It's not the worst. I always feel a little bit dismayed, and this isn't a knock on Steamforged or anything, but just with 3D printing in general, because you can see I do a crap ton on this channel. You know, you tend to have like this really, really sharp side of the print, and then it's like all glossy and blah on the bottom. And I hope someday we have the technology to actually make sure that that doesn't happen. That's just my ramble for the day. One thing to notice is these are not the same pose. Thank goodness. I always hated that about War Machine, where you had 3 guys that were the same and one that was doing something different. Okay, they're not even just like swaps of each other. I'm going to take a wild guess that this is going to be all of the various options. You'll notice we've got these nice little plugs at the bottom of each of the pieces. I wonder why. That's because they are going to be able to be swapped with magnets all over the figures. So, don't lose anything. Hold on to everything. Be careful with it. And you can see the pieces do fit quite nicely. Sure, there'll be a little bit of cleanup here and there, but I would imagine most of us at this point can handle a little bit of that. So I'm going to have to remove those inserts there, and then the head will, like so. Alright. I don't know what's in here. Let's find out as I rip the bubble packing apart and open up cuts that needed to heal on my hands that haven't yet. Okay, who are you, my friend? And where did you come from? I'm like, if you ever wanted to use any of this for like Dark Mechanicum or something, I mean, I'm sure these figures would work smashingly. In fact, I know I had some painted up, some of the old pistol wraiths, I believe they were called. I 40k'd up a bunch way back in the day. That was kind of fun. Is that dude here and I just didn't see him? I guess so. I thought this was all one thing. Is it Terminus I was thinking of? Lord Terminus? Lich Lord Terminus? I don't remember all my Lich Lords anymore, and unfortunately with Privateer's website gallery going kaput, that's no longer going to be of much help. But here we have our nice big warjack. And again, much like the little guys, our big friend here is also going to be able to take all sorts of magnets. I want to say they're probably the same size. No, these are a little bit larger looking, I guess. Man, I'm going to have to get some magnets now, aren't I? I can hear the dogs barking in agreement in the other room. But that is one of the cool things. I don't have to go out and buy, 3 copies of the same warjack. I always was not cool with that. This one is not cooperating. I probably need to clean that up a little bit. Can I do like a twin gun build? I'm not even sure. Am I putting the head in correctly? I don't know. I'm assuming so, because I feel like the Cryx Jacks always had their horns going down. You can't complain about the amount of options, at least. That is the wrong side of the arm there. Why don't you want to cooperate there? I'm not having an easy time. I wonder if it's because I'm putting the arm on wrong. That looks strange. This one's kind of ovalish. Nope, they're both ovalish. Maybe it goes like that? Like, that doesn't look right. Okay, there we go. So, the connection ports for the limbs are not perfectly circular. That's on purpose. Because they're going to go in and they are supposed to be set a very specific way. I say that and then I'm not able to get it in. And look, it's even dripping mucousy slime stuff the correct direction. Okay, that's kind of cool. I did not expect that. And again, we've got all the options. We've got close combat. We've got, I don't know what's going on there. Is that like an ammo feed? With a claw? Pile driver or something? I'm not even sure. Big axe. I'm assuming, yeah, we got a harpoon to drag them in. Scything blade. Here's a third head, I was wondering. So, I'm going to guess that there are 3 builds. I will be honest, I haven't even looked at the rules, and that is kind of one of the downsides to me, is I always liked having the cards. Yeah, things would get invalidated, the drop of a hat. But it's a nice size figure, I gotta say. I'm like digging through, and I don't know where any of my old Privateer figures are, so I don't have a good basis to judge him with. I know I had one of the new Orgoth guys, and I know he's painted, and I don't know where I put it. Like most of us know what that figure is, at least. I don't know. So I am like going to have to hesitate and hold off on gluing things together, which is a bit of a shame. I like to, but on the other hand, I totally want to hold off and actually get these magnetized. Now, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes Steamforged has had the magnets available with like starter bundles, and I'm sure as the holidays get closer, we'll probably see some of that. Okay, it looks like this head is supposed to come out at an angle. Obviously, if you really wanted to go in there and start modifying and converting, it is possible. Just be aware you are working with printed resin. Sometimes it can be a little bit more brittle, but I gotta say, this arrived perfectly in transit, so that's a good sign. We didn't have any breakage that I have seen yet. There is a little bit of wiggle room, I'd say, if you play around with filing things down. Obviously, without any glue or posing on the base, he is going to be a little bit of top heavy. Oh, I got it balanced. Even better. One of the other things that I've always liked about War Machine, especially when it's played at a smaller point scale, is you've got nice big pieces to use. I mean, yeah, our little chicken crawler walker's going to be on the more minuscule side, but like this battle group, everything is on a 40mm base, at least. Obviously, our heavy warjack there is on a 50. What were they called, like scavengers originally or something? I can't even remember, but you do get a nice mixture of parts here, and I gotta say, for a starter set, I am quite pleased. Alright, I went ahead and started playing around with trying to put some of our little guys together. They're not so little anymore. I tried also sticking the warjack heads on these light guys, and that didn't work. That guy needs a little bit of blue tack there to get him to stay on the base, but I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with myself with these. These are kind of a fun, nice little set. I miss those old battle boxes, and if Steamforged can get this stuff out there to the masses and, you know, at a reasonable price, I mean, I'm all for it. I would love to see the game back and healthy, because obviously the more the merrier for tabletop competition. And I mean, I'll admit, I was always a War Machine fanboy. I was more of a Hordes guy myself, but I will take what I can get. So, a nice start to the return of Cryx, I gotta say. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is coming, and hopefully there'll be plenty more after this. So, you want to see more? By all means, keep watching then. With that said, though, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities in Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.